to another episode of Cutting It Up at Palm Beach Finest Barbershop. I'm Mr. E, your host, and this is my co-host.
Succulent Michelle.
And our guest,
Manny Fresh.
How you doing, Manny?
What up, Manny?
So, Manny Fresh. Why Manny Fresh?
Man, I, before I, fell into a certain different lifestyle, I was a little bit, living flamboyant, and that name stuck to me and through my friends. But later on, it changed, into another name, which I'll share maybe later on. And then years later, it just became my artist name.
Manny Fresh is nice. I like that.
Kind of grew up in the era listening to Manny Fresh, Lil Wayne, and Cash Money Records as well, man. That music kind of influenced me a little bit, and
so you're from the South?
Yeah, man, dirty South, baby.
So where were you born? What hospital?
I was born in Cuba, man. I was born.
Oh, so you're Cuban?
Yeah, Tony Montana.
Oh shit, you Cuban?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Wow.
Came here in 1980, Mario boat lift.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, my dad was a political prisoner.
Wow.
How old are you?
Now,
yeah,
I'm 50 years old.
Oh, you look good for 50, bro.
Yeah, man.
You look real good for 50.
Courtesy Department of Corrections.
Nice. Well, they say you it freezes.
Yeah.
So you were in prison.
Yeah, exercised well. 3 meals, slept well, rested.
Yeah, pretty much. Read a lot. I read a lot when I was
read a lot too.
I wrote a lot too.
And ironically enough, it was there that I found that I had this gift of art.
Well, actually, the artist in prison is amazing.
Best.
I mean, like, shit. I seen a guy make color with M&Ms.
I see.
It's crazy. Iron clothes with newspapers, and it's amazing the shit, brother. You would see newspaper and sprinkle of water.
Yeah.
And you
how do you iron it though?
You put it underneath the mattress.
Get the warmth? Oh, under your.
I don't know how it is that it happened.
Right.
Just I don't ask questions.
Hey, you ever seen a guy?
That's some pride though. I don't even care if I have wrinkles out of jail.
Here's another one. You ever seen a guy peel a stamp off the envelope, put it in a solution, bring it back out hours later, let it dry, and all the ink from the stamp is gone, and
you reuse the stamp.
I never seen that one.
Dude,
I never seen that one.
It was
making tattoo ink was incredible too.
Yeah, well, not only the ink, but the
tattoo gun,
the gadgets.
Yeah.
We were very very creative. So, ingenuity has to be part of your skill set to make things happen.
So how'd you find your art in prison?
I doodled as a kid, and I something just captured me. I watched some of the best artists at the camps that I was at, and my family wasn't really able to afford to send me money constantly.
Mm-hmm.
So being a hustler, I figured out this is how I can get this is how I can get that, and it wasn't just about that. It was giving me a peace of mind, man. It's hard to come across peace of mind and a chaotic life. Well, in prison too, but
just in life in general, you're talking about?
Yeah, and ironically enough, man, there's more people at peace in prison serving life sentences than people out here in a free society that are more in prison than the ones serving their life sentence, because they're in prison in their minds.
That ain't that crazy.
It's true facts.
Crazy.
I've sat with lifers and they told me, man, I got more peace, man, than most people out there in a free society.
Yeah, pretty much. I see it.
Fuck,
I said this was gonna be therapeutical. Thank you, man.
You're
definitely an inspiration.
Freedom and.
How many years you were? How much time did you do in prison?
I did 11 and a half years.
11?
Yeah.
Huh. No game time, no nothing. Is that what?
Well, I got game time 20 days a month. I was sentenced in Palm Beach, and then I was sentenced in Broward, and my Broward sentence was consecutive to my Palm Beach sentence.
Oh, that's
plus it was mandatory 3. So Department of Corrections don't never like to make life comfortable or easy for nobody. So what they do is they run both sentences, the numbers together, but they put the mandatory in the back. So you finish your total sentence with 20 days a month. And then once you finish that sentence, and the whole time I'm thinking that my mandatory was running with it, I had to start the 3-year bid in the back end, man. It was one of the most huge disappointments.
Yeah, that's one of the worst things to.
What is that? I don't really know what that means. So
like EOS.
The first part of the time you had like
20 days a month.
But what does that mean? You went to jail 20 days a month?
Gain time. Gain time means it's accumulated award time for good behavior. So for every 30 days you did, the state will give you 20 days.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
And that no longer exists in the state of Florida. So for all y'all criminals thinking that you can go to,
there's no more gain time.
There's no more gain time. You get right now Florida's under 85% of your sentence. So good luck on that one. Catch a DR, you're doing 100% of your sentence. So prison is not a place to be right now, ladies and gentlemen. So definitely if you are
cigarettes,
just say no.
Living dirty, take notes. It ain't worth it. Your family, everything else that comes.
How long ago did you come out? Sorry to cut.
22 years ago, man. I've been out a long time,
Wow.
But for
22 years, 11 years.
So how long? So I know you do the art of recovery. So how long from when you got out to when you started your thing, or when you found recovery yourself?
Clean on there.
It was 12 years after I was released from prison that I decided to make that conscious decision that I no longer wanted to live, that the way that I was living prior, because I got out of prison and I continued with the self-destructive path of addiction, criminal behavior, and it took me down a rabbit hole real fast. I'm not ashamed to say, man, I asked God many times not to wake me up. So in 2012, January 16, 2012, I was like, okay, by all means necessary, man, I'm going military with this recovery thing, because I've tried it before. And like most people, we know, man, we get clean for 30, 60 days, we do good, but, we get bored. This last time I went military with it, I trained, I trained physically, mentally, and spiritually. I asked God, and myself, man, what's the only thing that allows me to be still? And it was art. But I could never associate art in a free society. I always associated art with inside of an institution. And that changed the dynamics.
I see.
That's when I met you. And you came to my mom's garage, and I had a little art studio set up. And fast forward a few years later, art continued to evolve, and I evolved in my recovery and with the things that I was doing. Yeah, I've been clean 10 years and 3 months. And the creative side started to grow and wanted more. I got addict personality. There's no one thing for me, whether it's good or bad. I just choose, that now I want more of the good things than the bad things. The bad things gave me consequences. The good things give me blessings. And of course, I want more of that.
And you got a lot of good things too. So you have your nonprofit. So what is your nonprofit?
My nonprofit is the Art of Recovery.
Okay.
And we do have a film festival attached to that. Once again, outside the box, I've been to numerous art exhibits, and I've been to numerous film festivals. And if you go to a film festival, it's just a film festival. But I wanted to combine the two and kind of do something never done before. Obviously for people who suffer from addiction, alcoholism, mental health, art has always been a healing process for some of them.
Well, the best artists and the best everything is usually people that are
dual diagnosis, schizophrenics, suffer with mental health, addiction.
Like I ask myself, I don't even know how I fucking cut hair or how I done the things I've done. It's just God to me.
I stand back after I finish a piece that's got a couple of 100 hours, and I'm dumbfounded. How the hell did I do this? And with my films, when I get nominated to a film festival or win an award.
What do you do in your films?
My films are mostly inspirational films. They're telling a story of overcoming certain trials and tribulations. Incarceration, re-entry, we know that's a huge problem in America. Prison population is growing every year, sadly. So whether and it all evolves, man, because most people who are in prison, I think 90% of them were under an influence. So alcohol and drugs are always a factor.
It's all wrapped into it, and their parents,
genetic
parents,
genetic disorders,
generational poverty, and then generational substance abuse,
that's
generational poverty. You know what I mean? Like all of that wrapped up together is absolutely the foundation for disaster. Absolutely, yeah.
I speak about that.
So you definitely.
Oh yeah, about the
generational curse.
So you got your book.
How did you get inspired to?
Which is incredible.
I
want to write 3 books, but I don't have but 2 chapters written.
Man, I started writing in the darkest places, man. I started writing in detox. I started writing in...
So what are these are like pretty much notes that you wrote?
Yes.
Letters to yourself?
Yeah, and somehow I managed to keep them. And 4 years ago, I took all those notes. And, they say, you want to write a book. Here's a little insight that I learned. You write a book from the end to the beginning, and not from the beginning to the end. Because first you got to have the story. And we think we have the story when we want to start to write, but we haven't finished the course to tell the people the ending. And obviously I started writing in a dark place, and by the time I finished it, I was a homeowner. I did my daughter's sweet 16th birthday bash, which people thought I would never be able to do anything like that. And that's how I closed my book, at highlights of my life. But the beginning, man, the first chapter is a needle in a crack pipe with a tombstone says "Die trying." And I still have the original drawing. I drew it 15 years ago. But yeah.
So how can people? So what is the name of the book? I want to say it out loud so people can find it.
The book is titled From Revolution to Revelations.
Okay, so it's From Revolution to Revelations. And then how can people get to your YouTube documentaries?
Well, YouTube is Manny Mendez. To get the book, you could reach me also in Manny Mendez on Facebook, or Manny For Real, and it's spelled F-O-R-E-E-L, Manny For Real on Instagram. You can message me. I get the books myself, self-published. I get them straight from a publishing company, and I sell them individually. I've given away more books than what I've sold. I've never really, wrote a book with the intention of promoting, marketing.
Get it on Amazon, you'd be surprised.
Yeah,
there are so many people in pain that need help.
Yeah, I pulled it out of Amazon, but I'm thinking about going back on there. I don't like to give my money away that easy.
I know, right? I hear you.
Website.
So tell me
the website. What's the website?
The website is. I'll give you guys 2 websites. One is www.forreal, F-O-R-E-E-L, recovery.com, and the second one to the nonprofit, it's www.theartofrecoveryfilmfestival.com.
And I want to ask you, so what is your nonprofit is you making the films, or is your nonprofit the housing that you provide?
No, the nonprofit, it's a creative space for artists with multiple diagnoses, whether it be addiction. What the Art of Recovery does is give them a space every year to come and showcase their gifts.
Okay.
Whether it be open mic, filmmaking, art, volunteer, and
cool.
Just get around people like ourselves, and be expressive about our disorders, man. There's no shame or guilt in being bipolar or being a person in long-term recovery. Hey man, you speaking to a crackhead from Palm Beach County, and I know friends, and I got multiple people that I associate with who got master's degrees and don't live the life I live today. And they own student loans.
Sure.
All I gotta do is one thing: stop getting high.
Yeah.
I do that, I give myself a raise.
No kidding. No kidding.
You know.
Drugs are expensive, huh?
Yes, they are,
yeah,
man.
They're expensive, so.
These are some of your sponsors, huh? You got shout outs.
Yeah, that's amazing. So where did you hold? Where was the festival held? You said in West Palm Beach.
Yeah,
was that
man,
like downtown or something?
Well, it's in Lake Worth. You know, at Lula Center. I don't know if you're familiar with the old shuffleboard building in Lake Worth.
Yeah, the Hatch building.
The
right?
Hatch, part of the CRA, Lula.
Yeah.
We do the exhibit there. It's a 3 day event every year. And then we go to the Stanzak Theater next to the Playhouse.
Yeah.
And we host all of the films, short films, documentaries at the Stanzak.
I was in a show there. I have had a lot of fun at that place.
At the Stanzak Theater. But this year we'll be moving it to the Peach. And
where's the Peach?
I want to talk a little bit about that.
Okay.
You know, the Art of Recovery now has a space. You know,
okay.
We got a location now.
Yeah, we got a location. We got an art gallery.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we got an art gallery.
And where can they find the art gallery?
/studio? It's at the Peach, and that's at 3950 Georgia Avenue, West Palm Beach, Florida 33405. There's 6 units, and the Peach is the newest art collective studios in Palm Beach County.
What's the cross street?
The cross streets will be I'll tell you the easiest way. We're right under the Southern Boulevard Bridge.
Right by the. Oh, I saw that building right next to the barbecue place.
Yes, the Peach Troy's Barbecue.
I was curious what was going on in there. That's great.
You know, the Art of Recovery. It's unit number 5. You know.
Okay.
And today we say unit in a good way. You know, for an art space and not.
Right. Yeah.
It's not the types of units we come from. And once a month we do host an art walk collectively between all the artists.
Usually it's around the same time.
Yeah, it's the first Saturday of the month, and like I said, my studio is open Wednesday, Fridays, and Saturdays from 5 to 9. And this Thursday we will be hosting. We will be doing art class. And this is part of doing the art class is a way of giving people the opportunity.
What time do you start?
From 7 to 9. You want to write a book, and a lot of people want to paint, but they can't find the time because how hectic their schedules is. But
once you have to make time for it.
And I have all the art supplies, and I have everything I need.
Of course.
It's just a matter of it's timelessness.
It's
getting into that place where you can just stop everything else and just do it.
But when you're vested, I charge $25 per class, 2 hours. You get to keep whatever it is we paint. And my job there is to not only guide you, but to spark you so that you can go home and paint. So I've learned, in my journey, man, that I wanted to do a lot of things, but if I was invested, and I don't mean just sometimes, putting time, but coming out of my pocket, because once you invest in yourself, you want your return.
Yeah, sure.
Every leap of faith that I do, including the sober living, I make sure that I get vested, and once I do that, I execute.
So you make your living in life just doing art, or?
Nah, people ask me that, man, and it's the answer's always the same, man. I do art for fun. Do I sell a few pieces here and there? Yes. I've given away more art to charity than what I've sold, including books. I'm blessed in other areas of my life. Career-wise, I work in the treatment industry. With addicts and alcoholics. I do own a male sober living program, which assists men transitioning from treatment, to a safe environment, to learn life skills. To learn how to stay clean, and just build them up. I was blessed enough in my journey to have some good men in my life who loved me unconditionally, loved me when I didn't love myself, and I'm a product of those relationships. I really am. There's no way. People ask me, man, how'd you do it, man? I can't tell you. All I did was, for once, I listened. I knew that in my active addiction, I had a drive that was a beast. When I wanted to get high, it was none stopping me. Nothing. And when I ran out and I wanted more, there was nothing stopping me. You know, I think we all got a switch, and I finally hit that switch, and I wanted more out of life than what I was receiving. And you know, when I hit the switch, and from that drive to do all those negative things to turn it into a positive things, the world was mine. And you know, I'm not claiming the world, but my little space is freaking beautiful, man. You know, not every day's gravy. Last year I lost my girlfriend to an overdose. Hardest shit I ever had to deal with. You know, we all got problems. We all have struggles. You know, what defines us is what we do to get past them. You know, I don't act out. I don't use drugs. I don't drink. I don't numb my feelings. I process my feelings. I understand that what I feel today, I may not feel today, but that loss took the, you know, I took the L. We don't learn to forget. You know, this is something that I'm gonna have to learn to live with. You know, drugs were used to try to forget until the effects were gone, and it came back.
Yeah.
It comes back. You know,
so it keeps you in that cycle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you want to stay numb.
Usually with more problems.
Consequences. You know, yeah, man. Honor to be here.
No,
Yeah.
no,
God bless you. So earlier I asked you to think about what your favorite place in Palm Beach County is.
To visit, if you can give somebody
Yeah.
a place to visit. Where would
Well,
you
I'm
say?
thinking it's
It'll
his
be-
place. It's your art studio, man.
Yeah, I'm right under a bridge, and you know, it's crazy how things come full circle, because I had turned my mom's one-car garage into an art studio, and
Einer saw it.
10 years later,
I gotta go back and look at the
I'll show you pictures
Right.
of it. You'll remember if I
Yeah.
show you pictures. 10 years later, God had a sense of humor and said, here's another garage on steroids, brand new,
Yeah.
central AC, you know, and we've been blessed with the space. 3 months ago, we started our Narcotics Anonymous meeting every Friday night, where we get 50, 70 people come out to this meeting, and it's called the Under the Bridge meeting.
Have you heard that song, the Chili Peppers? You have. Chili Peppers song, Under the Bridge Downtown.
Probably have.
This is like the complete opposite of the song.
I'll get 'em my
Instead
copy,
of going to like the bridge downtown to get high, you would like go down there and like get your art on and don't get high, you
Yeah,
know, like, and
exactly.
be around
High
other
on
people
life.
who support that,
I'm
you
gonna
know?
listen to that when I
High
get in
on
the
life.
car.
Yeah, like
So
that
Friday-
song comes up a lot.
I'm
Fridays
high
you do
on
what?
life, man.
Yeah, that's
Fridays,
beautiful.
every Friday you do it?
Every Friday night at 8 o'clock. And-
$25.
Well, no,
No,
that's
for
the meeting.
that's
The
Oh,
meeting
okay.
is free. The Thursday art class, it's
that's
Thursdays.
Okay.
It's $25.
Oh, okay, you have a support meeting. Okay.
Yeah, that's Friday night. You know, and it's crazy because
That's
right on the
beautiful.
other side of the railroad
That's
tracks
great.
under the bridge, it's active addiction.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, we see them walking by, man.
Of course.
You
Yeah,
know, just a
of
daily
course.
reminder that, you know, we only get a daily reprieve from this, man, and one bad decision can land us on the other side of the tracks where those homeless people are living still, you know.
Right. Or the other side of the clouds.
Yeah,
You
man.
know.
So,
The
But,
ground. Whichever way you want to think about it.
ask them or something, your phone number. Say if people need help, want to reach out,
Yeah,
that kind of thing or something.
that would be great.
You want to do that one, Michelle?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's your phone number?
My phone number is 561-889-7230.
And that number people can reach if they want to.
Yeah, well, you know, if they have somebody who's struggling with addiction, alcoholism, mental health, you know, we have resources. You know,
And you're
to guide
not
them.
Manny Fresh.
You know,
You're Manny for real.
Manny for real.
He was fresh, but you know he had to get real.
You know,
That's good,
I'll
you
tell
know,
I'll
we
tell
have
you,
to
I'll
do
tell you
that
about
shit.
that fresh, man. And I jokingly tell this, you know, when I share my story at places, man. You know, I went from Manny Fresh to Manny Buster because that's where drugs and alcohol took me to. You know, there was a time in my life where I had everything I ever wanted right out of prison. you know, living lavishly, you know, and, you know, popping bottles at clubs, you know, pulling up in exotic cars. And, you know, that road, you know, was short-lived. I ended up at a place called the Homeless Assessment Center with 2 public shopping bags with all my belongings in there. One bag had coloring pencils and a sketch pad. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. But God must have had a plan with those coloring pencils and sketch pad. So that's where the Manny Buster came. Until then, you know,
fucking name.
I revealed myself, man, you know, through revelations, man. You know, I like to tell people God plucked me, man. I didn't choose this life. I didn't choose filmmaking. I didn't choose to be an author. I wanted a better life than what I had, but I had no idea what I would get. We always sell ourselves short, man.
But you know what? At the end, I think we just have to go through it.
Absolutely.
But Manny, I want to thank you again.
Appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me, man.
Once again,
you know,
they're under the bridge. Fridays, they do the meetings.
Southern Bridge.
That's right.
Under Southern
Thursdays, they do the art class. Bring the $25 and you get to take home what you do.
Super fly.
Fuck, Manny, thank you, bro.
Yeah, it's very inspirational.
You gave me a lot of hope today too.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about, man. My job was done, man.
And then all the folks that are gonna, you know, hear this and listen to the, you know, your documentaries, I'm gonna check them out.
Hey, you shout out to All In Solutions, my employer, man. Greatest company I've ever worked for, man. I love you guys, man. Appreciate everything you guys done for me in my journey.
Shout out.
That's great. Shout out.
Okay, we appreciate you checking us out. Stay tuned for next week because you never know who's in the chair.
Cutting up at Palm Beach Finest Barbershop.
Hey guys, it's Succulent Michelle here, and I have your tip of the week. So I know you guys have seen this major organizing container thing on TikTok where you go to your local Dollar Tree and you look for your different container and like whatever isn't like picked over, you know, it's you get lucky, you don't get lucky. But I want you to know that you can actually go to dollartree.com and you can shop their website and oftentimes choose what colors and designs that you want of items and just have them shipped to the store or either to your house. So that is your tip of the week.